Next up is Tony, listening in Indiana. Hi, Tony.
Yes, sir. How you doing? I love your show, bro.
Thank you.
Hey, my question is, Mr. Hanegraaff, is my wife, as a young child, she was sexually assaulted, and she says she has forgiven, her brother from doing that. But my question is that possible? There could have been a demonic spirit bypass through her as well, because she still, I've seen that she still carries some of those demonic traits of the anger, the violence, those type of traits. And what possibly can I do? I've been praying and in church I've been going to, and I don't think my pastor really wants to deal with it as well.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. It is a horrible circumstance, and there's understandable anger and consequences that come as a result of this kind of horrendous sin, this violation of a person both physically and metaphysically. But as far as this passing a demon from one person to another, there's no warrant for that whatsoever. If one is a believer, their temple is the temple of the Holy Spirit and will not be inhabited by a demon. So if she is a believer, she can be absolutely certain that Satan has no part in her. Certainly Satan can harass her, can tempt her, can seek her to doubt herself. But that is precisely why we're called to put on the full armor of God so that we can take our stand against principalities and powers of darkness. I think it's really important in circumstances like this to seek really good, solid biblical counseling.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know we try to get into that, and I think once our counselor, once she started asking a little bit about our childhood and things, and I immediately knew my wife immediately shut down because she didn't want to possibly maybe re-enter that in her mind, but I don't think we can grow,
Yeah, it's a very complicated situation. This is an unthinkable violation of a person's humanity, and so it does have ramifications, and as such, it takes a lot to overcome. And therefore, people should not try to go this road alone. Now, obviously, this is something that you can help with, but oftentimes it's necessary for others to come into the equation as well. So the one thing I would say, however, is you don't want to misdiagnose, and to misdiagnose would be to assume that because this happened, she's demonically possessed. And that, of course, could not be farther from the truth if she's a follower of Jesus Christ.
Well, I think because she comes from the Jehovah's Witness background as well, so there's been kind of, and I have seen some growth. And like I said, you're right. You absolutely don't want to assume that. But what about the rage and the anger and the violence, towards me whenever something doesn't go, and I've tried to make sense of it, and I'm not feeling like I'm not getting anywhere as far as that goes. I know you had a book. I know I heard a caller a while back had mentioned his wife was dealing with some of those things as well. I know you had mentioned a book.
Yeah, the book I mentioned, I believe, was The Covering, God's Plan to Protect You from Evil. And I don't think at the end of the day it's our place to figure out whether these things come from the world, the flesh, or the devil, but it is our place to put on the full armor of God so that we can stand against principalities and powers, so that we can stand against the wiles of the world, so that we can, in fact, overcome our sin nature and its proclivities from within.